All right, all right. How's everybody doing? I hope that you're doing well. Hope that you're feeling well. Welcome to Speak Out Loud Radio Show on Fire 716 Radio. Please, guys, do me a favor. I want you to go to your Android or your Apple Store and I want you to download the Fire 716 app. Great music, great community events, and definitely great shows, including mine. We are doing some great things at Fire 716 Radio. You don't want to miss anything. Go download the app. Listen, guys, thank you so much for being with me on this afternoon. It's a wonderful time to be alive. It's great. Listen, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to share this on all my social media platforms. Please, please, and on YouTube. Not only follow me, guys, on my Facebook pages and on Instagram, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel at I am DMP Speaks. So let's get into today's topic as it's already been said. So today, the topic that I want to talk about is removing negative family norms. Plain and simple. Again, that topic is removing negative family norms. Now, what I would like to do, I would like to just give you a short definition of what norms are. Just simply, it's just kind of my variation of this definition. Okay. So, this definition of norms is a family doing what they're used to doing and they're doing this consistently is either good or bad. The norms can be either good or bad, but they're doing it consistently, right? And in that norm is either spoken or unspoken norms that are in the household that a lot of people have grew up with. I grew up with some norms, right? You have definitely grew up with some norms, but I want to give you some examples really quick. Some generalized norms that a lot of people grew up with is, going to school, going to work, working hard on the job, working hard on this in school, coming home after work, eating dinner as a family, doing homework, doing the yard work. We eat as a family. We don't eat in different areas of the house. Kids doing their homework, doing the norms, the normal things, right? But let's be honest, and this is where I want to get to, and I'm not going to take too long to do it. A lot of those morals, those valuables, though not valuables, excuse me, values. I'm thinking about the story, y'all. I'm sorry. Principles that they taught us was constant. Those things were constant. A lot of you grew up in church or not. Some of you had one, two parents or not, or one parent. That was your norm, right? But there are other families, unfortunately, that were raised with negative family norms. And if I can be honest with you, it is very difficult to remove a norm, even if it's negative, if you have been living this way either half or your whole life. Because again, that is your norm. And because it's your norm, it becomes a part of you, unfortunately. So, some examples of negative family norms are drinking alcohol. And I mean, talking about getting drunk, right? Alcohol abuse. And let me say this, let me maybe put this out. When I'm mentioning these things, I'm not making light of these things. Okay. I know this is a sensitive area for many of you. So I'm when I done my research and I put this together, I was being mindful that some of you are still dealing with some of these negative family norms, that some of you are still struggling in these areas. And I'm pulling for you. I'm being serious. I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for that family member. I'm pulling for that generational curse to be broken off of you. but I want to just give you some examples. So I hopefully that you feel comfortable as I talk about it. Even if you feel uncomfortable, let me know, because I will always on this radio show. I never want to make anybody feel that they can't be represented correctly or making them feel uncomfortable, because that's not what my show is about. And I definitely know, without even talking to the owner of the radio show, Big Frank, this is what he believes, and he wants everybody to feel a part. So I just want to make that very clear. So again, some of these examples, like I said, they're sensitive, but uh, alcohol abuse, emotional, verbal, and even sexual abuse, yelling, arguing, not getting along, right? Different people coming in and out of the house. Let's be honest. That was some people's norms. So, oh, I'll give you another one. Some of you have came home from school and you didn't see your mom for the rest of the night. Some moms were doing their thing, partying up. A lot of mothers were working. They were doing 2 or 3 shifts. They were supplying everything that you had, and it was tough. But guess what? You fed your. There was food in the refrigerator. Come on, somebody. There was pop in there. I'm serious. There was snacks there. Mom gave you, mama, grandma, whoever it was, gave you instructions of what you needed to do, and she said, "I see you tonight, and I love you." That was your norm. Now, was that my norm? No. Would you, if you told that to somebody else, would they feel like that didn't make any sense? Yes, but that was your norm. Why am I saying all this to you all? Because these norms, these negative norms, can either make you or they can break you. And many times, unfortunately, everyone, that these negative norms have broken people. And because they were broken, a lot of trauma started to come in, a lot of pain started to come in, a lot of confusion and distortions of the mind, distortions of the heart, distortions of relationships, family relationships, platonic relationships. And a lot of times, people are, let's be honest, a lot of people are still walking around being broken. And again, it's hard to break a norm if you've been in the home and you've seen these negative norms every day. Some of you are 19, 20, 21, 22, and over half of your life, you have experienced these particular negative norms. But let me say this to you all. Let me encourage you just for a moment. Your norms can be changed. I'll say it again. Your norms can be changed. This is what I want you to know, and I want you to remember, and I'm going to say it one more time. Your norms can change. Even though that was your family's norms or their normal, and you were functioning in that dysfunction, you do not have to continue your life functioning in that dysfunctional norm. Again, I know this is big, it's a sensitive. Well, if we don't talk about it, who is? Who's going to really talk about it? Who's going to shine the light on these areas? One thing that I really want you to kind of hone in on and really take what I'm saying, and we're almost to the place that we're going to be done. And guys, thank you so much. And on my social media platforms, please share this. You are starting to build your own norms, but you have to recognize that there are some norms in your life that your family put you through that just was not good. You thought they were good because you were younger and you thought that's the way that you're supposed to live. You thought that's the way people live. But unfortunately, brother, unfortunately, boo, that's not how you were supposed to live. But let's be honest, your family did as best as they can because guess what? They had a certain norm when they grew up, as they grew up, and that was their norm. So, what does that say? That was a generational negative norm. And this goes on a lot. And I ain't going to say just in the Black community, it happens in all communities. Because sometimes we can get so fixated on it just happens here. But there are things that do happen in our communities that don't happen as prevalent as other communities. I will say that. Right. But this is something that does go on. Sometimes even family members will tell you when you're trying to make those adjustments in your life, these new norms, they'll absolutely tell y'all, believe what I'm saying to you. Oh, you think you better than us. Oh, you think you better than me. Because you got a little edge as my former bishop, my past bishop, his wife would say, your education. Your education. Love them. You knew how we grew up, and now you trying to act like, no, you're not trying to act like anything. You still love your family, even with the dysfunction, but you're saying to yourself, well, I can't function like this anymore. I can't live my life like this anymore. So because I can't live my life like this anymore, I got to change. I got to make some changes for myself. And there's nothing wrong with changing yourself. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with changing yourself because what you want to do, you want to be better, not just for you, but a lot of you that have had negative family norms, you have your own family now. And now you want to break that curse. And guess what? Guess what? There is nothing wrong with that. Again, negative norms are meant to be broken and not put back together. I'll let that breathe. Negative or dysfunction in your home is not meant to be put back together. It's supposed to be broken. That dysfunction is supposed to be broken off of your family. This means that you have to let that go. You don't have to continue to subject yourself to those ways anymore. And I want to give you three things, and then we're about to close this today. And again, share if you care. But I want to give you these three things, and I'm going to get out of your way on how to overcome these negative family norms. Okay. So here we go. If you got your pen, your paper, you got your phone, whatever that you got, I want you to take some notes down. All right. So the first one is recognizing what norms are healthy and what norms are not healthy. So you have to be able to recognize the ones that did not help you and remove the norms, those toxic ones, those got to go because they've been hindering your life. They've been putting things on hold. They've been putting great relationships on hold. They've been putting great opportunities that you could, but you were afraid. You were nervous. You were scared. You had anxiety because you lived in such a negative norm in that household. Now that has to be broken off of you. And you must be able to be and feel free, not just say that you're free, to feel free, to free yourself. So I say that again. You must feel free to free yourself. You must recognize that freedom is available to you and to remove those negative norms in your life. I don't want to go too fast. I know I'm running out of time, but I want to give you these things that I feel like is going to be helpful. The second one is, y'all ready? Number two, reflection. Having your own reflection on those negative norms as an adult. As an adult, when you were a child, as I was saying, you thought as a child. So your mind, when you were in that home with your parents or your grandmother or whoever, and you saw those negative norms, there was nothing that you could do about it at that particular time, because even though those negative norms was there, you had a shelter, you were being fed, so there was nothing that you could do about it. But now that you're grown, you start to see that you are starting to have some problems, starting to have some situations, and you're saying to yourself, I love my family, but because of what I went through, and it's not about blaming them, it's just what's factual, what's truth. Those things that I went through, though, that dysfunction, it messed me up, but it's not going to take me down. It's not going to take you down. Not if you let it. You are not that kid anymore that has to suffer anymore. You're not that kid that has to go along on how things are and just accept it. You don't have to accept those things anymore. You don't have to live that way anymore. You don't have to subject yourself to those negative norms anymore, because you can be healed today. You can be set free today in your mind and in your thoughts. You can be free today. Okay? That's number two. And the last one. And then we're getting out of here, everybody. Focus on the new norms that you're building for yourself. So, my question is to you, what norms are you adding to your life that's going to help you become the best you? Ooh, that's heavy. Let me say that again. What norms are you adding to your life that's going to help you become the best you? You got to start adding some new norms for you and your spouse if you're married, and for your kids if you have kids, because you're going to have some one day. You're going to find that spouse one day, and you're going to have to really work on yourself before they come, because you don't want that negative cycle to show its ugly head again. So we have to be able to cut. We got to cut and destroy these negative family norms so that we can implement these norms in our lives. Even if your family doesn't agree, you and your family, what you got and what God has given you, you guys got to be able to thrive. The emotional damage that those negative norms caused, you will not continue to hurt yourself or anybody else anymore. They won't continue, those norms, those negative norms will not continue to keep you bound, to keep you lost, to keep you fragile, because you're going to heal. Your siblings are going to heal. Your cousins are going to heal. People are going to heal. But the only way that people will heal is when they're ready. But I believe that you're ready to make change. I know that you're ready to do the impossible, and that is remove things that just didn't work anymore, even though you've had to endure this for years. But as long as you start the process of change, it can happen. So again, the topic is removing negative family norms. And listen to me, there is someone out there, there's a family out there, there's an individual out there saying, I want to change. DMP Speaks. I'm tired of living these negative norms in my life, and it's brought so much trauma back to my life, or is continued trauma and anxiety and pressure. I want my family to be better. I want us to change. I want us to make an adjustment. I want us to pivot even. You can do it. But sometimes you just need some support. Sometimes you just need somebody that's going to help you pull out the best you, or pull out the best in your family. And I want to do that for you. So if you're interested in my services and my programs, I want you to go to my social media platforms and I want you to click on the link and I want you to sign up for your free 30-minute consultation call. And I will do everything in my power to help you and your family become the best versions that you all can be. Again, removing negative family norms. You can do it. I believe in you. Let's go get it, y'all.